This is the highly requested via Instagram breakdown of my live stream rig. You can go live anywhere in the world with this. You might be saying that's a cellular hotspot. How can you go live when there's no signal? You can get Starlink with this battery pack and run the Ethernet cord to this. I'm going to break down all the pieces and the parts, and I'm going to show you the back end too at the end of the OBS structure that lets this whole thing run. The camera system, this is just any camera that has an HDMI out. I have a Fuji, you can use Sony, Canon, whatever, literally doesn't matter. That is going to go into the switcher. And this is where things start to get different than a normal rig. This is an Atom Mini Pro. I'll take it off and show you in just a second, but I just want to show you it all laced up. So you have the camera going in to camera 1. You could have 4 inputs. So camera 2, camera 3. HDMI out is just going to the screen, and this is like the Atom live streaming thing where you can do your camera switches and all that. I have a USB out so that I can record onto an SSD right there, and then Ethernet plugged in, which goes into the hotspot or the Starlink if I'm out in rural areas, and that can just beam up to the internet, which blasts it back to my computer. Let me show you actually. So I push the on air button and it glows red, and in just a second it'll show up right here. This is streaming back to OBS, and it goes to all my accounts, so you can add whatever you want. I have YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, you can do Facebook. TikTok is this kind of weird workaround, but you can actually do TikTok as well using their studio. I'll break that down at the end because that's the most complex part, but let me just take apart this and just show you like what these pieces are. Also, a little disclaimer is I wanted to live stream flying FPV footage. So I need the goggle feed, which needs a whole different block of electronics and a Cosmos streamer and whatever to get the goggle feed out so that I can go into the switcher. So I needed multicam, I needed IRL. This is not a live view professional solution. This is really just my Jimmy rigged version of something that actually works. I'm experimenting with the hotspot and making sure that doesn't overheat. I have run successful runs with it, but I have had a little issues with it. Also like cable management and like wires and attaching things. I've done some work with a 3D printer to customize and like make it neat. Well, it's definitely good enough to just work out for now and see where it takes us. Let me break down the parts and then I'll show you the OBS. If we undo this, I want to show you, this is a Netgear Nighthawk M1000. This is a hotspot, and I have it an AT&T version that I bought used, and it's unlocked. So I can take it to, I took it to T-Mobile and I bought a T-Mobile data plan of I think 30 gigs a month or something like that, and it lets me have a hotspot for the actual streaming to happen, to go back to my computer. I'm trying this where it's plugged into the V-mount because I had the battery in. Where's the battery? So this is the battery for it, and it actually lasts very long. Like I haven't had an issue with it streaming just like an hour at a time. The black battery still has plenty of life left, but we were in like the direct high sunlight, and it was really hot out, and it was beaming directly on the hotspot, so it overheated and turned off. So the stream didn't end because of the way I have OBS set up, but the hotspot turned off and we had to keep turning it back on. I don't know, I was talking to ChatGPT and it said if you plug it in direct so that there's no battery in it, it could save some of the heat capacity. I've never had an issue other than that because it was when it was, we've streamed outside of the direct sunlight and it's been totally fine multiple times. It was just in the direct sunlight that I think we had the issue. But under this piece, it's actually just taped to this. This is a 3D printed cover for, let's flip this back around, the Atom Mini Pro. And I got this on Facebook for like $200, I think. I just needed a switcher and something cheap enough to where I didn't have to spend $20,000 on a backpack. And this was the seeming to be the right solution. So you could switch 4 different camera angles. I have the cover on it so that I don't accidentally push all these buttons, and then it exposes the ones that we need, like recording on the SSD. If we want to press record, it's recording to the SSD. And then if I want to cut the stream from this end, but not end the live stream, just kind of like cut the whatever, I can turn off and on the mics. So typically I'm using the DJI Mic 3s as a lav, and I plug them directly into the mic port back here. But I'm using them to film this video right now. So you could also use a shotgun mic. You can use the microphone on your actual camera. So now it would be picking up from the microphone attached to my actual camera. I'm going to turn that off. And then I have this little cover. Where'd the cover go? Oh, right. It's taped to it. So I just have like the cover with like ridges and whatever and holes. Somebody modeled this one. I just downloaded it offline. And then I just modded the heck out of it and added all the ridges and bumps and then clips and stuff so that it stays on. And then I just strap this down. So that is the rig. Let me show you OBS. When we have this going to blast off to the internet, you actually put a link in here in the Atom Mini Pro. You go in the software, I'll show you in the software. You put a link that you can stream to like YouTube or to Twitch or to Instagram or whatever. But instead of doing that, I put the link to send to OBS to a computer always running at home. Let me show you. So I have a PC computer always running, and that is going to just always running OBS. This is by far the most confusing part of all of this and will cause me the most headache to figure all this out. Here's the easy gist of it though. There are 2 main links that you're going to send data over the internet on with video and live streaming. There's RTMP and then there's SRT. These are the 2. RTMP is like the standard, like been around longer. SRT is like the newer and like getting more accepted to my understanding. Basically, the main difference that I care about, RTMP, when it breaks, it doesn't come back. It just breaks and then it's gone. SRT can break and then it can come back. So now, what I do is I use an SRT link from the field, from the real world, to go back to my computer, and then computer, since it's stable, connected to the internet, that is an RTMP to YouTube and to Instagram and to Twitch and whatever. Without getting crazy complex, your IP address is like your address to your computer. It's literally like, it's like the license plate to your computer, or an IP address. It's like a license plate to your computer. Your network at home, your home Wi-Fi, you're not on that Wi-Fi in the real world, right? You're on your own hotspot or Starlink or whatever. Now, if you're on 2 opposite sides of the road and you're trying to access the address, your IP address, like your home address for your computer, you're trying to send your video here, right? And you're sending it on the road with an SRT link. Your SRT link is the delivery vehicle. Now, your network has essentially a gate. It's like living in a gated community. You need to have like the right scanner that you can open the gate with. And that is called like port forwarding. And you have to go through the port so that you can get into your network. So like into your neighborhood, essentially. And I'm not like an expert in this. This is just how I have learned to understand it, just by trial and error. So in order to get in that, you have to open up a port on your network. And I had to go on my router. So you have to go to your Wi-Fi router, and I went onto like the app, or you type in the IP address on Chrome, and then it brings you to your router settings and whatnot, and then you go find port forwarding, and then you create a port to forward. For example, it could be like 58654, and you open up that port on your network for your specific IP address. And your IP address is like the license plate to your computer that's running. So my IP address on my phone is different than the one on my computer running here. That's different on my MacBook laptop. This is what it should look like. So SRT : / your IP address to your computer, colon, and then the port that is listening to, or that you're trying to send data to. Atom software control. I'm going to open this up. You can do like Facebook, Instagram, whatever, but I'm doing a custom URL, just a mock example in here, SRT:// whatever. Let's just put an IP address and then a port. This needs to match what's happening in here. Your port opened. Let's just say it's this. Let's say this is the IP address, and we want to send that to. OBS. So what we would do is add a media source, and we'd call it whatever we want. Live stream, I guess. And we could just create a new one, and we uncheck local file, network buffering, reconnect delay, turn that down, uncheck everything. This I leave at 2 megabytes. But everything else unchecked. You want in the input, you put your link. So SRT:// whatever this was, 10.7.010, 10.7.0, oops, 10, and then colon, whatever the port that I put was, 57898, and then 57898. So then you would save this and click go on air, and now it's listening to the link on here. Click go on air with the actual link and my SRT that's already set up, and there you go. Now we have it to OBS. There's one thing that I'm not able to show you because I'm filming on my phone. You download Google Chrome app, and in order to actually control your computer back at home, you go on Chrome Remote Broadcasting. So I just Google that, and then you log into your account, and you're able to actually control your computer from anywhere in the world. That's how I actually like start and stop the live stream, because you have full access to your computer whenever you're out in the world. I'm not going to go in a deep dive on this part on setting up OBS, but I will tell you with the vertical, how I get the vertical and the multiple accounts and stuff is Atom. They have a multi-stream plugin, it's free, and a vertical plugin that's also free. And this vertical one lets you go to, I have Instagram, but also TikTok with this virtual camera. You can use it to go into TikTok Studio and use this as a virtual camera. TikTok has its own weird rules, so I'm not even gonna go into that, but this is the gist of it. And if you lose signal here, you still have your stream, and you can put up like a background photo or something to be like, hey, I'm gonna be back in a second, bad signal or something. And that is the breakdown on the live stream Dream. Again, I'm not an expert. This is just me experimenting and figuring it out through this. I really just care about getting this footage live